Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Factorio Bob's Angels. So, last episode, we were getting all the things ready for some purple science, along with a little bit of titanium as well, because I want to use that fairly soon. I don't end up using it much this episode. I use it a little bit, but at least it's there. It's done now, ready for what I want to use it for. One of the things is the express stack inserters. That makes the station run a hell of a lot smoother. And there are a few other things. Ah, yes, there's the armor, which I also need the silicon nitride to create, which we'll do in a little bit. We start off by immediately setting up the next tier of laser turrets, tier 3, as we've now got the lithium-ion batteries. We can now make the next tier of laser turrets, which is much needed because the tier we have at the moment isn't quite up to scratch, but this should hopefully make things a little bit better. We still need to upgrade the next levels of laser turret shooting speed and damage, but we'll get on with that once we have some purple science going, which is what we're going to do now. It's what we start with next. I spend a lot of time at the start of the episode looking at how long it takes to make an electronic furnace. 5 seconds for an electronic furnace and 10 for a pump jack. So if I wanted to go for my ratio of 1 science pack for every second, it's 15 seconds for a purple science module. They need one, so we'd need one every second essentially to feed all 15, if that's right in my head. This always confuses the hell out of me trying to work this stuff out. I probably did the wrong sum, but I think I needed like 70 assemblers just doing pump jacks, or was it for the other one? I don't know. My maths was probably wrong because that seems utterly ridiculous. So what I end up doing is just doing 10 pump jack assemblers and 5 furnaces for now, because we can beacon them later on. And I've been watching Arumba's playthrough, and he's got 1 assembler doing both, and it works perfectly fine. But of course, that's because it's all moduled up. But purple science will lead us onto modules, so I'm going to try and get to those fairly quickly, because we need to do speed modules at least for the power armor I want. I want to get power armor so that Angel of Death episodes, bot slaying, is going to be completely different. But we need to get onto modules anyway, because productivity is a beautiful thing. So is speed modules, and so is the energy efficiency one. Why build more power when you can just use less power? So we'll continue to expand the solar array, and we'll probably do some nuclear power soon. I'm really interested to see that's like. But yeah, we're going to get onto modules fairly quickly, fairly soon. I wouldn't like to say how many episodes because I don't want to jinx myself. But we shall see. So we start laying out the iron gear wheels and pipes for the pump jack production. I'm just going to go for 2 of each for now. It's probably not going to be enough to run what we need, but we're not going to have enough iron coming through to even run this. So the iron looks alright at the moment, but later on in the episode we realise that gets very, very bitty. So we get the 10 pump jack assemblers set up. And one thing I didn't really want to do at the start of this episode, because we're going to deal with it later on, is go and mess around with defences at places like Sapphirite. Another place we need to sort out is Rubite. We only ever put in these crappy defence blocks, as I crudely call them, which aren't very good. You know, it needs me to go and manually sort them out. So we need to sort something automated out in terms of defences and get a more permanent setup. And we haven't been up to Rubite since we set up the outpost anyway, so we might as well go and have a visit and see what's going on up there. So we get Sapphirite done as quickly as possible. I took care of that base that spawned right next to the defences and reloaded any empty turrets. But I leave as quickly as possible because we're going to go and sort that out at a later point of the episode. That's the second half of today's episode, is actually getting some proper defences sorted. I should have done it a long time ago. I've just been avoiding it just because of how little my resources have been so far, and I've just been thinking, well, if it's a minimal amount of defense and it doesn't ruin the game and it uses the least amount of resources, that'll do for now. I'll do something permanent when I'm more comfortable, and I'm a hell of a more comfortable than I was in the earlier episodes of the series with regards to resources. So yeah, we're gonna start doing a bit this episode. I may do some in between episodes, so I at least show what I'm doing with it, but I don't need to do loads and loads of episodes on it, because if I was doing a solo playthrough, I remember not my last Angels Bob's playthrough, it was I think my first Bob's playthrough I'd scanned quite a bit of the map with the really good radars, and I was surrounded by beautiful bottlenecks. It was just, there was a huge amount of biters in every direction. It was a Death World map, and I think I spent 8 hours just doing the defenses, just going around the entire factory with a belt, making sure this belt went in all the way 360 degrees all around the factory, feeding all these turrets. But it took me 8 hours, which is like 8 episodes in terms of recording style, and it used a huge amount of resources. On that one, I was on a much more luxurious map in terms of resources. All the deposits were a hell of a lot thicker, plus it was Bob's without angels, so I could just go and mine pure iron or, you know, pure copper or whatever, and I'd exposed a load of patches while doing that, and it was a hell of a lot easier than this map. The settings, the levels of richness were still the same, but I don't know, something about this map has just been a lot more difficult. So that's my main excuse for not doing proper defenses, is resources. But yeah, we're going to start working on it now, a little bit maybe each episode, a little bit in between episodes. Again, don't want to do too much in between episodes, but I still like to keep the content in the episode interesting and not me just running around doing defenses for 8 hours. So we've got the electronic furnace and pump jack production set up, and we get the silicon nitride and lithium ion batteries passed up kind of crudely through where the electronic furnaces are. I just don't like not having belts in lovely straight lines. Even that little bend there has triggered me a little bit. I'd like to keep it all really nice and neat and straight, but oh well, it's better than taking it all the way around the electronic furnaces. So we get the, I think I put out 10 purple science production for now, because you know, we can't even support that, I don't think. But I want to see it running once I've sorted the iron out. I want to see it running at full speed and see where I was actually going wrong with my ratios. But we'll probably just beacon the hell out of that area as we're not too far off getting modules. So I come and grab the rest of the new laser turrets that we've produced so far. We also have a quick look at science, as electronic circuit board production has stopped, but I decided to come and sort out science first. We need to move these over to fit in another belt for purple and yellow science. I start laying these out with the standard Mark 1 science labs. We get another belt put in, and I start messing around with all the inserters and poles, because we can get rid of these old horrible poles. They're not going to fit in because we now need 3 inserters for each lab, so there's no room for poles in there at all with it laid out like this. I could build more labs to speed things up, but again, we're not producing science packs fast enough to keep up with even this, with the lack of iron. So we're going to sort out the iron soon. So I try and take a blueprint of these 3 inserter setups. It's the wrong way round. Then I try and mirror it, and it's still not right with the belt layout, and I like this pattern. This pattern with the inserters makes me happy, like where each insert is reaching for the same bit of the track. They're not crossing each other. Don't ask me why, it just does make me happy. So yeah, enough said. So we get the requesters in again for the military science and the new one for the purple science. Starts coming over, and I decide what bit of purple science I want doing first. And we're going to go for advanced electronics 2 for the next type of circuit or logic board. And we also lay out research to try and get to the power armor. But yeah, we need to do the module science soon, which I will do very soon. It will be in the next few episodes. We're going to need to get gold coming out of the refining area. Probably going to do some combination sorting for it, but I do like to get some from the miscellaneous sorting. So we shall be doing a lot more of the sorting areas. I need to do all the rest of the combination sorting and still sort out those damn circuits to control the whole thing. But I come and grab a load of turrets and some wall ready for our next bit of the episode. But then I realise advanced electronics isn't going anywhere. We've got purple in there, so why is it not happening? And I realise I should have, in the first place, gone for those Science Lab Mark IIs. So I reluctantly go and set up, very crudely, the blue belt production. I just do the belts for now because that's all I need to build the Science Labs. I'll do the underground belts and splitters when I actually start needing to use these, because I don't really need to use them yet, but it is going to be very soon, and it's going to be very sudden as well. So I will have to come and finish this area off, but that'll probably be after the episode. So we request in some lube. We get that all put in place. We get an active provider so that it never fills up with empty barrels. There is a control on how many barrels are being produced. So the system will or should not ever lock up anyway. It is a problem with I used to have with the way I set it up. And yeah, this bit's a bit of a boring part of the episode. I was going to speed this bit up, but I've never actually bothered to. But we get all those labs converted while we're waiting for the belts to produce enough for me to do so. I come and work out why the electronic logic board production, I hope that's the right one, is that the blue one? The white circuit board production has stopped. It's because of lack of boards. Basically, before the episode, I did a little bit of belt balancing of the blue boards. I put an underground belt for the white boards and all the phenolic boards, and I placed it one block too long, and it didn't work, basically. I also had to completely redo the hydrogen chloride area. I decided to delete the whole thing completely and start again because it still wasn't completely balanced. Last episode, I realized when I'd first placed it, there was an imbalance of hydrogen and chloride, probably because I'd placed a pipe and then deleted it, removing the liquid of one type and not the other. But that's all lovely, balanced and equal, and I'm very happy about that now. And we come down and grab some titanium. This is the only use for titanium this episode, but it's to create the next piece of armor. So again, I come and grab a bit more turrets because we are producing them the whole time. That it doesn't seem to stop. And we got a good few stacks to start doing some proper defenses. So I was going to go to Sapphirite first because that is our biggest problem area. But just as I was leaving, we get an attack at Rubite. And Rubite was the other one that I was going to do because I just haven't been there. So I thought, let's just go do Rubite first. So we get on the file train just for the hell of it, you know. So we've got some extra resources in the back as well. I think I'm going to redo what we've got in the file train again, or have a second train with defense stuff in it. But we come and clear up the Rubite miners. We've nearly got rid of all of the standard patches, and you can see the flaw in these defenses. The turrets have nearly run out. So I place out a load of temporary ones in front of where I'm going to build the wall just to defend us while we build it. I do come and take this base out because it's a little bit too close. We don't want biters wandering over and triggering attacks. And then for some reason I take out those turrets that were to sit there temporarily while I build the walls. So I go and put them back in. And as I do, there's a huge horde there, literally just about to come and say hello. And we start manually placing out the new turrets. I'm going for one single line of laser turrets for now. Hopefully that should be enough. We'll see. Well, we'll find out in a minute. We do get attacked. And we get this laid out, but I run out of nanobots. I then run out of the termite nanobots for clearing trees. And I have to go old school and do the last bit manually, which is a bit sad. It's nice having the nanobots. I should have thought about it and built a lot more before I came here. And then I try and push this base back, and it's really terrible. I nearly die. I lose loads of turrets. I'm not exactly sure why, because we've cleared bases perfectly fine in the past. I guess it's because I don't have those nanobots repairing. Because half the turrets are damaged, it really fills up my inventory. So I have to put down a warehouse to dump a load of those damaged ones, but we'll sort those out in a minute. I come and manually clear these trees, which is a horrific job. Even with the diamond pickaxe, you barely even hear the sound there. It's so fast at taking trees down. But we get the wall placed out and the rest of the laser turrets. To be honest, it's not too bad at this speed doing it manually. It's just having those nanobots all this time, you kind of get used to it, and it's very easy. So yeah, we're going to be putting in roboports with repair packs. The problem here is I forgot to bring one of the most important ingredients, which is the construction robots themselves. So we're going to go back and grab some of those in a minute. I decided to take out the scanning outpost because we can now use the base's power and put these turrets and accumulators back into the main pack. And so one thing I didn't mention, the moment we got in this file train to go up to Rubite, I've upgraded the speed of the episode to 4 times speed. Because we are just doing defenses, it is pretty obvious what I was doing, but the episode was going to be 25 minutes, and after talking for nearly half an hour last episode, I wanted to keep this nice and close to 20 minutes. So we come back, we come and find some construction robots, and we head straight back up to Rubite. So on the screen there is another load of temporary defenses I really need to sort out. I just don't really want to have to put a massive wall in there if I'm ever going to expand that area out. There are some nice coal patches and maybe some nice resources out that way. But I may put a permanent wall in there. I don't know. I just haven't done it yet because a wall of that length is going to use a huge amount of resources. And I want it done with laser turrets, and I have nowhere near enough laser turrets to fill that wall in. It doesn't get attacked as much as somewhere like here. It's just if I put in the laser turrets in a really thin manner, it may not be good enough when it does get attacked. I don't know. I'm just making excuses again. So we have construction robots in here, which is great. They can repair the walls. I've given them a few laser turrets and some wall, just in case that gets destroyed. So I probably won't have to visit this area for a very long time. Probably not until we need a second rubite patch, because the only place with rubite is up there in that area. So we have another look round the south bit of the map and the area around Saphirite, because I wanted to talk about one of the other excuses why I haven't done some more permanent defenses. I do like turtling in. It is very good for death worlds. It's just I like a huge area all the way around the base before those walls go in. Hence why in that playthrough before it did take me 8 hours. It shouldn't take 8 hours to surround your base in defenses if you'll be building it immediately around the factory. I like to have a huge amount of empty space all the way around the factory for pollution, and just because it's nice, you know, just driving around these big empty spaces. So that's my other excuse. So I want to clear the whole area of biters south of Stereotype, and to the east of Stereotype there's lakes all around there that we're going to use as bottlenecks, and it will use a hell of a lot less laser turrets. The other big area I want to clear is up here around Saphirite, and that's to get to the Givolite patch and the other two Saphirite patches. So in terms of ore, our biggest shortfall is Givolite. We need another Givolite patch, so the area up here is going to get cleared fairly soon. So these defenses are going to be sort of permanent. They'll be here until that clearing's done. Very approximately estimating, not saying anything in stone here, that this area will get cleared in episode 50. Maybe I'm planning on maybe doing another Bob's Angel of Death, another 2 hours of clearing, but hopefully the idea is to, in the episodes up until episode 50, is to acquire the best power armor I can, and the best form of defense for myself, so that I can do all the clearing with flamethrowers and maybe some destruction robots if I can do that in time, maybe not. And then the idea is that if I do another 2 hours of clearing episode like episode 40, I'll be able to clear twice as much as I did in that episode using the flamer method, because it's going to be so much quicker. I'll be able to clear this whole area here up to the bottlenecks just north of me, and see what's in that black square at the other end of the desert, and also do all the area around Stereotype as well, because there's some fantastic lakes south of the base. They're perfect for using the bottlenecks of, and it'll finally get rid of the area where the ominous red cloud is, which I've decided to name it. So that is generally the plan up until episode 50. That's hopefully the roadmap. It could all go horribly wrong, and I find I'm not going to get anywhere near strong enough to do flamer clearing, but we shall see. So the defenses for Saphirite are in. It's got a roboport. I've decided to back this place up with sniper turrets, as it gets attacked a hell of a lot. I also put inserters in to manually feed them. There's a chest there with a huge amount of piercing armor. I then come back to the factory, and I'm not 100% sure why. I think it's because I had enough to build those defenses. I didn't have enough to put any spare laser turrets in the little logistics chest up there. I didn't have very many repair packs, and we didn't have any inserters either. Those inserters could get destroyed quite easily, so I just come down and grab a load of spare stuff. We also had a quick look at the slag there, because we are actually starting to work through our reserves, which is great. We're reprocessing more than we're creating. So I came up to put those extra little bits in the logistics chest. There's some more wall, some laser turrets, some inserters, extra repair packs. I even manually produced some more, and I thought, all right, I'll end the episode here. But then no, I changed my mind again, because the messy power poles here were kind of making me a bit nauseous. Really didn't like it. So we're getting it run completely by substations now, which I love. It's so nice and tidy. And while I'm here, I think, all right, fine, we've got these new defenses in. Let's completely max out the mining and get it all nice and neat, because it was looking pretty horrible, this area. I would just occasionally come up and shoehorn stuff in. So we get these all laid out. I do start using yellow belts to begin with, and then upgrading the bits in red. I don't know why I did that balancing over on the right there and not just use red, but oh well, it's done. But yeah, that's going to be all we have time for this episode. Next episode, we're going to be looking at streamlining iron again. We are stockpiling it quite a bit. We need to add another smelting area, get more iron on the belt, maybe do some priority splitters. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed watching, and please do come and join me next time. Bye-bye.